Hello students, so now we can see another topic, that's benchmarking. So already previous videos we have seen PERT and Gantt chart. So this is the third one for the network analysis or control technique. So here benchmarking, its a simple meaning is that it's a process for improving the practices in the organization. That means how we can improve the quality of care in that area, that measuring the quality, okay. And we are comparing with the standards or standardized or more quality or more improved care delivery system practices with our own system. That's a simple meaning, okay. So we can see the definition. Benchmarking is a continuous process of comparing the product, services and practices with the competitors to the best in the field. So always we are comparing the partners or the other competitors in the field of in which field we are practicing that. Then another one, it is a process to find out, sharing, developing and implementing the excellent practices to attain the highest level of client satisfaction. We are dealing with our hospital system, so we are comparing our practice with already the non recognized or accredited institutions practice and our own practice. So we can compare it and we can improve the quality of care of our own institution. I think the definitions are clear. Then we can see what are the purposes of benchmarking. Purposes they have given to ensure uniform high quality health services. So that's very simple. Then to search benchmark standards, then to find out benchmark gap between two institutions, to close the benchmark gaps. First we are finding out the gap and then we are closing the gap. Then establish benchmark practices. Then to bring benchmarking as a component of management process. So these all are the purposes of benchmarking. I think it's clear. Then we can see the principles of benchmarking. So first principle is maintain quality and standard of practice. So it will help us to maintain the quality and standard of practice. Second, client satisfaction. If you are improving the quality of practice, automatically client satisfaction also will improve. Third, continuous improvement in the performance, because continuously we are monitoring and we are comparing and we are measuring. So automatically our performance will improve. These all are the three principles of benchmarking. I think it's clear. Then the types of benchmarking. Typology, it may say, are the forms. So the categories, different forms of benchmarking depends upon the first one is type of partners, second nature of objects of study, then purpose of the partnership. So we can see each one according to the type of partners: internal, external, competitive, functional and generic benchmarking. Okay, as the term itself is giving, internal benchmarking means we are analyzing, sharing and comparing the best practices of similar operation. For example, maybe from different departments. Okay, which department is performing better than the other one? So we are comparing that indicators with the other department and we are trying to improve it. That is the internal benchmarking. Second one is the external benchmarking. There we are comparing the practices with other organizations. That may be some of the outstanding practice measures we are doing. That's for new ideas, methods, procedures, and we are continuously monitoring, improving the performance. We are identifying the strength and weakness of that system and we are practicing and we are comparing the practices. Third one, competitive benchmarking. That's with the direct competitors in the health market. So what we can gain here, we can show the improvement in the quality of service by we are directly doing with the competitive practitioners or practice areas. So we can bring a change in the input process and output of our own institution's program. Then functional benchmarking. This approach of comparing practice not only with the direct competitors, but also we can compare the business performance with the best performer by examining the evidence. World class excellence, that means we are comparing the world, means more outstanding or excellent practices we are comparing. Okay. Then generic, here the comparison done with the other organization having same type of work process, and then according to the standard set we are making modification, that is generic. These all are the first category according to the type of partners. I think it's clear. Then second one is the according to the objectives of benchmarking. According to the goal, 5 categories: process, service, strategic, future, performance. So first one is the process. Find and analyze the cause, how to achieve excellent performance by comparing practices and operations. Okay, we are analyzing that, how we can make sure that we can achieve the excellent performance. Second one, service benchmarking. We are comparing the functions, what type of function that organization is doing, and we are comparing that. Then third one is the strategic benchmarking. Here we are comparing the organization structure and managerial functions, how they are doing the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and then controlling. That we are comparing. Next, future benchmarking. Here we are concerned with the forward looking, that means to have the best practices with the innovative ideas. So here we are improving the knowledge and practice of that comparing. Then performance benchmarking. This is mainly concerned with comparing the performance of the organization with the other organization, how they are performing their client care. So we are also comparing. I think it's clear. Next we can see according to the purpose. According to the purpose of the partnership benchmarking process. So here classified to 2 main categories: competitive and collaborative. In competitive benchmarking, the primary purpose of partnership in competitive benchmarking is to be the best among all health organizations. So that outstanding healthcare practices where it is existing, we are comparing with that, we are competing with that. Then collaborative, that means the goal of collaborative benchmarking includes learning environment that inculcate with the learning environment and to share the knowledge with other partner organization. That means we are working with them, we are going along with the other institution or other benchmarking organization, and we are sharing. That's a collaborative benchmarking. I think it's clear. So these all are the typology or types of benchmarking or forms. So then we can see the benchmarking process, that is important for us in the context of examination also. They may ask what are the, maybe simply ask the phases or steps. So benchmarking, it's a continuous process, we know that, for adapt, improve the approach. So the main procedures we are using here is the PDSA approach, and then we can see that how it is applying. Okay, what is PDSA approach? It is an acronym for Plan, Do, Study and Act, PDSA. So what we are planning? This phase focused on decisions related to the identification and selection of the area. That means which function we are going to benchmark or which area we are going to benchmark. So benchmarking indicators, study, data collection methods, everything we are planning or we are analyzing during this planning stage. Then do. So do means doing self-study regarding the selected area. So which area we are going to compare, that performance indicators documenting practices and collecting data from benchmarking partners. We are collecting that. Then study. Study means observe the gap that we are analyzed by comparing the findings of an owner and a benchmarking partner, either positive or negative, and how we can modify that performance. So we are communicate the result and develop functional goals. Then the last one is the act, how we can act it there, develop an action plan. So we have already developed the functional goal. On the basis of that, we can develop an action plan. Okay, and we can avoid the negative gaps, and we can select the positive one. Okay, so these all are the meaning of PDSA approach. So when we are discussing the phases, I think it's clear. When we are discussing the phases of benchmarking, here I have seen the schematic flow. So these phases also included what we have seen the PDSA approach. So left side they have included the PDSA approach, that's the plan, do, study and act. Then the phases of benchmarking they have given here: planning, analyze and integration and action. So this according to CAMP, this process he has given under planning, analyze, integration and action. So there we can fit PDSA cycle for the quality improvement also. Okay, so both will go side by side. So first one is the planning phase. In the planning phase is the identify the areas of benchmarking, identify benchmarking partners and data collection process. Okay, this is coming under the first phase, planning phase. Okay, so all the activities that our manager will undertake to start the process of benchmarking, that is until the data collection, that is included in the planning phase. First one is we have to identify the areas of benchmarking. That means which area we need to improve, that we have to assess the area, that is the first one, the practice or the performance or the strategies or long term and short term objectives for that area to be identified also, and the criteria for measure, and these all things are planned in the identification of areas. Then identify benchmarking partners, then we are searching for the partners for the benchmarking, so that can openly exchange the information for learning and sharing the ideas with the competitive partners. We are searching for them, that we can collect it from the library, internet or web page, or these there are specific criteria such as size of the organization. So we can use that, similarity of service, technology, everything we can, then we can identify the partners. Then data collection procedure. Develop a plan for gathering the information regarding the best practices of the competitor. From various sources we can collect it, both from internal and external sources we can utilize here. Okay, and we have to write a summary of the received information, plan and develop a scoring. We can use Likert scale or anything. Then I think these all are the steps in coming under the planning phase. So collecting procedure is there. Okay, then analyze that. During the analyze phase, the data already we have collected, we are analyzed and compare with the set criteria, standard criteria, and we are finding out the gap. Okay, so future planning we can do on the basis of these differences in the deficiencies. So in that second phase is the, under this analyze phase, two steps are there: analyze the gap and project future performance. So that's organization on areas of interest regarding its performance and customer satisfaction. We are comparing the practices of benchmark organization with the current method of your organization. We are comparing. I think it's clear, our own practice with the competitors practice. നമ്മൾ ആരെയാണ് എടുക്കുന്നത് അവരുമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്നു, മനസ്സിലായോ? നമ്മളുടെ പെർഫോമൻസും അവരുടെ പെർഫോമൻസും. ദെൻ വി ആർ ഫൈൻഡിങ് ഔട്ട് ദ ഗ്യാപ്പ്. ഏതൊക്കെ രീതിയിൽ നോക്കണം? റിഗാർഡിംഗ് ദ കോസ്റ്റ്, റിസോഴ്സസ് റിക്വയർഡ്, ക്വാളിറ്റി, ആൻഡ് ഹൗ ഈസി ടു യൂസ് ദാറ്റ് ടെക്നോളജി, എവറിത്തിങ്. ഓക്കെ. Then project future performance. After finding out the gap in the practice performance, we can plan a change for the future. We have to modify our own proposal for our own current practices with a specific period. Then performance measurement also we are developing. That is the project future performance. I think it's clear. Then comes the next phase is the action integration phase. During the integration phase, we are communicate the result to the team members and management. Okay. So that is the first one is communicate results. So we are preparing a report and future planning, and that communicate to all concerned staff about the proposed modification required in the current practice. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ കറണ്ട് പ്രാക്ടീസിൽ എന്ത് മോഡിഫിക്കേഷൻ വരണം എന്നുള്ളത് we are communicating it to the all staff concerned, and then we are motivating them to adapt the new changes and understand them make them to understand the importance of that. Then develop functional goals. After the communication plan to all the concerned people, revise the goals and then measure them. Okay, formulate the realistic standard for each identifiable area. Then we have to get the approval from the management, and all support if we have, we can apply that in the or make a change in the practice. Then comes the next phase is the action phase. After the analyze phase, then comes fourth phase is the action phase, and there during this phase take approval from the management, so then we can implement the new developed device or the practice to close the gap. Okay. Measure the performance and proceed appropriate remedial action. Here comes develop an action plan, executing and monitoring the plan, and reassess the benchmark. So here again we are determining the priorities in the work practice to implement and develop an outcome oriented performance criteria. So we are preparing an activity schedule and then break down that activity schedule in step by step and list down the sequence everything, and then we have to communicate that to the all concerned people. Okay. Then executing and monitor the plan. After getting approval from the management, we have to apply this action plan and we have to train the staff, and then we have to monitor the performance of the team. Okay. That particular we are collecting or selecting a team members, so we have to observe them how they are practicing. Then reassess benchmarks. That means to identify the areas of improved practices, we have to evaluate that after the successful operation of our new practice, the best from the best practice regarding the performance. So the customer satisfaction continuously and periodically we are observing. Okay. And these changes should be made according to sustained benchmarking to adapt best practices. അപ്പോൾ ആഫ്റ്റർ റീഅസസ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് എവാലുവേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് റീഅസസ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് so we can apply it. Then the last phase is the maturity phase. So realization regarding the importance of change in the benchmarking become a critical component of the management process. So then we are identifying the performance gap and try to integrate the excellent service into the process. So then we can apply it there for the continuous practice. So these all are the 5 stages of benchmarking phases: planning stage, analysis phase, integration phase, and then action phase and maturity phase. I think this topic is clear to you. Then we can see last is the benefits of that. So benefits, we know that maintain uniformity in the clinical practice if you are doing the benchmarking, then provide systematic and scientific approach to audit current practices. So കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ഒരു അഡ്വാൻസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് ആൻഡ് സയൻറ്റിഫിക് അപ്രോച്ച് നമുക്കെടുക്കാം. ദെൻ പ്രൊമോട്ട് ക്രിട്ടിക്കൽ തിങ്കിങ് ടു പ്രാക്ടീസസ്, ന്യൂ ഇന്നോവേറ്റീവ് ചേഞ്ചസ് വി ക്യാൻ മേക്ക്. Then ensure innovative retaining practices also we can do. then helps in utilizing the resources at minimal cost, because we are analyzing their cost also. Okay, then we can utilize it and provide opportunity for sharing learning. So because we are comparing with the competitors or the other organizations best practice, so automatically we can share our learning with the other organizations. I think it's clear to you this topic, benchmarking. Usually they are asking us short note or answer briefly or differentiate between for the BSc nursing students. So if you have not seen my previous videos regarding the nursing management topic from first unit onwards, so you can go through that. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Those who have not subscribed, please subscribe my channel. I will put the videos continuously. Okay, thank you. See you again.